From the South Point studio, the perfect blend of sports.
But I think the Niners are going to wear them down. Detroit Pistons lost their 36 games.
Comedy.
See over-under on that relationship lasting. I'm going to put mayo in the coffee.
Yeah. I am beautiful. And a whole lot of Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Join Ryan McCormick.
That's at least 2 picks outside of our own in the first round next year. Rio.
And host Frank Nicotero.
I look at the clock, I go, ah! Ah!
Oh! Watch Punchlines live at noon every weekday.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Who is there for heroes or the families left behind when a service member or first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty? Who helps our country's homeless veterans? And who helps our nation to never forget 9/11? Let me tell you who. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The foundation's Gold Star, Fallen First Responder, Smart Home, and Homeless Veteran programs comprise their In the Line of Duty programs. They're all dedicated to honoring our nation's heroes and their families. The foundation's Never Forget programs engage people in 9/11 remembrance across America. Over 80 runs, walks, and climbs a year, dozens of golf outings, and the Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute is educating kids in kindergarten through 12th grade to help our nation keep its vow to never forget. More than 95 cents of every dollar you donate to Tunnel to Towers goes to its programs. Never forget the sacrifices of our country's greatest heroes. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
The best of racing is always at Los Alamitos Racecourse. This weekend, the top California juveniles will be in action. It's the trials to the Grade 2 Robert Adair Kindergarten Futurity this Sunday night. Great racing action is in store with the juveniles, with the 10 fastest times advancing to the kindergarten final on May 12th. Plus, night racing's best bets, like our early and late pick fours and our $10,000 pick six promo. We'll add $10,000 to the pick six pool on Sunday if there's not a carryover. Last Sunday's pick six paid over $34,000. And horse players, Los Alamitos is the perfect place to enjoy all of the national simulcast racing action. From Santa Anita and Oaklawn to Gulfstream Park and the top New York tracks. And remember to reserve a table in the beautiful Vessels Club for Kentucky Derby Day. For reservations, call 714-820-2681. We're all about the horse players, the kindergarten trials this Sunday night. The best of racing is always at Los Alamitos Racecourse.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this Friday as we ramp it up for another weekend covering the great sport of thoroughbred racing, the sport of kings, Las Vegas style. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, right here at our South Point studios right here at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard. We welcome you to the show. And, of course, it's a beautiful day in our neighborhood. It's about 64 degrees outside right now, so it's pleasant out there. Sun is peeking through some high, thin clouds, nothing to worry about there. We're going to get up to 87 degrees today, and in case you're thinking, should I pack an overnight and come on up to Vegas to enjoy the weekend there? Well, I can tell you this. Tomorrow, we're going to get up to 90 degrees, and on Sunday, 93. So you might want to come up and enjoy some of the action here, certainly at the South Point, where we'll be watching sports on the sports side and the sports book, and, of course, racing on the race side in the race book. They are separated here for convenience for all who are fans of racing and sports, that's for sure. The only separate race and sports book operation here in Las Vegas, right here at the South Point. We welcome you to the show. For those of you watching us on YouTube, you go to YouTube, you search in South Point Studios, and you get to the South Point Studios streaming network, video and audio on YouTube. And I say that because for those of you who are listening on our other platforms that include our anchor radio station here in Las Vegas, Sports Talk 1400 AM and 107.1 FM, or for those who get us through our websites, streaming at our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global, or those of you who put us on your devices, your iPhones or your Androids with the KSHP app that you can hear us, and the YouTube app that you can hear and see us at the South Point Studios feed, or those of you listening wherever you get your podcasting. All of those platforms are great, and they are there always for the race day shows, except for the special Kentucky Oaks Kentucky Derby Day preview show that we will be doing right here from this studio on the South Point Studios, streaming at YouTube only on Thursday, May the 2nd at 3 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to have, of course, our seminar guests and certainly the usual handicappers we have on our show, Jonathan Hardon and John Lindo in studio with us, and a whole bunch of more guest handicappers that we're going to line up for the show that day. So it's Thursday, May 2nd, only on the South Point Studios YouTube streaming network. No other place can you get it, 3 o'clock on the eve of the Kentucky Oaks, and certainly 2 days away from the Kentucky Derby. That's the Thursday, May 2nd. And, of course, we'll be doing race day shows every day during our usual start times during the week right through Derby and the day after the Derby as well. And, of course, we'll have our Kentucky Derby seminar on Friday, May 3rd, after the Kentucky Oaks program is complete at Churchill Downs and the West Coast Racing, 6 o'clock in the Grandview Lounge, which is adjacent to the race book, in the Grandview Lounge at 6 o'clock, featuring, of course, Jonathan Hardon. He'll be in from the East Coast, and John Lindo will be here from the West Coast, and we'll get perspectives from both sides of the good old US of A with our handicappers there for the Kentucky Derby seminar at 6 o'clock in the Grandview Lounge. And then the next day we'll be here to celebrate the 150th running of America's most famous horse race and the fastest 2 minutes in sports, the Kentucky Derby. That'll be on Saturday, May 4th. And, of course, that'll be up in the Grand Ballroom, the big Grand Ballroom with the big TV sets and all sorts of, you can get to play all the races at all the racetracks that are happening that day, including Churchill Downs and the Derby. We'll have a multitude of betting windows. You'll have the betting kiosks. You'll have of course, food and drink discounts, so you can enjoy it. Big banquet tables, bring your friends, and we'll have a good time. And, of course, a hat contest that will feature several divisions of hat. The hat contest will have the most elegant, the best horse-themed, the best fascinator or fedora, and the best overall. All those categories will have cash prizes to them, so bring your best hat forward when you come on out to enjoy it. It is all free of charge, including parking your car in the parking lot right here at the South Point. So keep that in mind. Put that on your calendar and keep that in mind, okay? That triple trifecta bet that we were talking about yesterday on the show finally got approved from the California Horse Racing Board late yesterday. It was approved for the California Horse Racing Board for the Santa Anita meet. Now, the Santa Anita Hollywood Park meet opens today, so that'll be the first day of the meet. I cannot tell you what races they're going to be, if any. They're going to be designated races. I cannot tell you whether it's a jackpot because they didn't say anything about that either. It is a $1 minimum bet. There's a 22% takeout on that bet. And that's all we know to this point. We do also know that it won't be available to all the outlets that you can normally play Santa Anita, all the simulcast outlets. They say that because of the computers accepting the calculations and all that, they went into all that detail. But it seems like you'll be only able to play this through the First Bet facility, the First Bet betting app, and, of course, live at the track. So simply put, they're trying this new bet, but I think they're rushing it a little with the approval just yesterday. But we'll wait and see about that. Santa Anita does open today for their Hollywood Park meet. And, of course, Keeneland continues to roll along. So we'll wait and see how that goes today, that the new 3x3. They call it the 3x3 bet. Well, the decision came down in the courts in Kentucky yesterday. Muth has been denied a start in the Kentucky Derby. The judge in the matter there in the Kentucky courts said no mas. So Muth does not go. The ownership obviously was disappointed. And the judge simply put, the ruling has to stand from Churchill Downs, et cetera. He was a little bit on the side where, they filed this lawsuit a little bit late, but you can understand that they did it because this horse was not eligible for Kentucky Derby points until he won the Arkansas Derby. So anyhow, he is denied a start in the Kentucky Derby, but they do have a chance to appeal. We'll wait and see if they appeal, but time is ticking. We're only 15 days away from the Kentucky Derby. Now, we know that Muth has been training steadily, et cetera, but still making arrangements, getting him there to Churchill, getting him used to that racetrack and everything. They're behind the 8 ball, that's for sure, and it's a long shot that the appeals court will even get to it or certainly make a ruling before the Kentucky Derby. So Muth officially is out right now. We'll wait and see if they continue through the legal system, and you know how the legal system is in the government. It's going to be a slow go for them, that's for sure. There is a rumor out there, and we expected this to happen, really, that Encino, the winner of the Lexington, you remember, just days ago, that Encino, the horse, may not go in the Kentucky Derby. I'll get more out of that from Jonathan Hardon a little bit later on, but it would be, I think, a wise move not to go since he was such a hard-fought win in the Lexington, but the rumor has it that he's going to pass up the Kentucky Derby, which is going to give a little leverage down with the horses that are sitting on the cusp waiting to get into the top 20 in the leaderboard points. We'll take a look at that when Jonathan is with us a little bit later on. And don't forget, Golden Gate is not running today. They canceled the races today. It has nothing to do with the weather. It's just that they have a shortage of horses now, as John Lindo explained to us, with Emerald Downs opening. A lot of the horsemen who can see the end in sight anyhow for Golden Gate starting to move their horses up to Emerald Downs to compete up there. So they don't have enough horses. So here's the deal. Golden Gate will continue to race through its official final closing day on June the 9th with just Saturday and Sunday racing programs. Just Saturday and Sunday racing programs at Golden Gate for that. All righty. And all I can tell you is yesterday, I'm going to tell you right now, our handicappers hit the goose egg again yesterday, but there might be a small reason for that, and that's because it was like a moon, the gambling moon over Keeneland yesterday. It was bombs away. Well, now in the second race at Keeneland, a 4.5 furlong race for 2-year-old maidens, Wesley Ward obviously had a horse in that race, and obviously Wesley Ward wins that race. He's been so prominent in these races for 2-year-olds during the spring meet at Keeneland, those 4.5 furlong races. He's won several of them so far this meet, and he won another one yesterday with a horse called Ultimate Grace, who just raced off the screen in the race and paid $2.38. And after an even money horse won the first race, you figure, well, it's going to be a day where the favorites are going to be pretty hard to beat. Not so, because towards the end of the card, bombs away. In the 7th race yesterday, the winner, Awesome Treat, in the 5.5 furlong turf race, won and paid $105.78 for a $2 win bet. This horse did not win like a $105 winner. This horse won with authority in that race. Big winner in the 7th race, part of the late pick 4, part of the late pick 5, and certainly starting the last pick 3 of the day. The 8th race came, and the favorite didn't win that either, paid $19.68. Joel Rosario's 3rd win of the day, paying $19.68 with a horse called the Distractor. And then in the 9th and final race, Nikki 9 Doors kicked out the doors for all of the favorites in that race as well under Abel Cedillo. Nikki 9 Doors goes gate to wire in the 5.5 furlong turf race and pays $52.78. So you had 2 bombs in the last 3 races at Keeneland. The pick 5 that started out with a $7.26 winner for Brendan Walsh's 2nd win of the day, and the 6th race winner that paid $7.82 to win for Todd Pletcher and Tyler Gaffleone's 2nd win of the day. And then, of course, the 105, the 19, and the $52 horses that followed. The pick 5 for 50 cents. The winning numbers 1, 1, 4, 3, 10. Paid $76,350.70. The late pick 4 paid $31,939.50, and nobody had the pick 6. They have a pick 6 carryover today. 5 out of 6 in the pick 6 paid $7,711.22. And the key thing about the pick 5s at Keeneland is they do have a consolation in the pick 5s at Keeneland. If you only have 4 out of 5 on your ticket, you're going to get a consolation payoff. Listen to this consolation. 4 out of 5 in the pick 5 yesterday at Keeneland paid $457.61. So his bombs away yesterday at Keeneland. At Aqueduct, Jonathan Hardon's horse, his pick in the 5th race had another terrible trip was noted on Jonathan's pick. His pick was jammed in on the rail at the 16th pole while moving up on the inside. The jock had to take up quickly, and at the 16th pole, they give him no shot to win the race. So you might want to put that horse, Whistler style, on your horses to watch list in that race, that's for sure. Manny Franco had 3 wins on the day, and the pick 6 at Aqueduct paid $453. That was the pick 6 payoff. So that paid just a couple of bucks more than the consolation in the pick 5 at Keeneland paid. Linda Rice had a win. Chad Brown had a win on the day. And for the most part, the highest priced winner of the day came in the 5th race where Jonathan Horse got jammed in that race. That horse paid $12.40. And at Gulfstream Park with that pick 5 carryover, remember, they had a pick 5 carryover. Winning prices in the late pick 5 with the carryover, 1920, 2260, 340, 740, and 420. Winning numbers were 2, 8, 3, 1, 5. That pick 5 paid $3,061.35. The pick 6, by the way, at Gulfstream paid $1,358.12. Taking a look at what happened yesterday. Well, we're cranking it up for a big weekend, so we got Jonathan Hardon standing by. We also have Rich Eng, of course, and John Lindo. Jerry Jackowitz will not be with us for about a week. He has taken off doing a little vacation, but he will be leaving us his selections every day, and he will certainly leave us, of course, the Jerry J's Power Pages will still be available at his website each day. He just won't be with us, so we'll have a little bit more time maybe to talk to John Lindo as well. Your racing menu, of course, comes up next as well. So without any further ado, we'll go to our first break. Just looking at the weather across the country, it looks like in all the racing centers, we'll have no problem with fast tracks, should be fast tracks, and firm turf courses around the country today for the tracks that'll be on our menu. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Okay, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Friday. Congratulations to Fev Rover. He became the 2023 Sovereign Award winner, named the Canadian Horse of the Year for his running yesterday, that's for sure, or I should say his work in 2023. And her conditioner, Mark Cassey, won for the Outstanding Trainer for the 16th time in the 49th Annual Sovereign Awards. Wow. 16 times, Mark Cassey, Trainer of the Year in Canada. And, of course, Fev Rover, one of his trainees, won the Canadian Horse of the Year, so congratulations to them. All right, now time to go to your racing menu for today. Reminding you, as we always do, the first post times we broadcast on this racing menu each and every racing day reflects that of the start times in the Pacific time zone. So if you're here in Las Vegas playing the races here at the South Point Racebook, these will be the first post times that roll out in our racebooks today. If you're listening on the many different streaming and many different platforms that we have that cover the world with the Race Day show, we know a lot of people are listening in another time zone, so you'll have to adjust to the Pacific time zone from whatever one you're in, not to miss anything at all, like we miss Mom and Dad here. Okay. Here we go. Here's the menu of racetracks available today. We begin with Tampa Bay Downs. Tampa Bay Downs has a Pick 6 jackpot carryover of $7,779. They have 9 races today at Tampa Bay and a first post time of 9:20 at Tampa Bay today. Laurel Park. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover stands at $3,630. They have 10 races at Laurel and a first post time of 9:25. Keeneland Racecourse. They continue to roll today at Keeneland. Now, we said, remember, there's a carryover in their Pick 6. It's a regular Pick 6. Nobody had 6 yesterday. Pick 6 carryover for today at Keeneland, $33,775. There is also a Super High 5 carryover because nobody had that in the last race either. The Super High 5 carryover to today starts at $9,780. Keeneland has 10 races today. Their feature race is the Double Dog Dare Stakes. It's the 9th on the card, $300,000 Grade 3 at 1 mile and 16th for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. Just a short field of 7, but a very competitive 7. Skilla is the 8-5 favorite there with Javi Castellano aboard. 5-2 second choice in the race is Raging Sea with Flavia and Pratt. A good Double Dog Dare. And at 1 mile and 16th, and that is the 9th race on the card. 10 races over at Keeneland with a couple of carryovers sitting there as well, and a first post time of 10 a.m. at Keeneland today. Gulfstream Park, their Pick 6 Rainbow Jackpot carryover now stands at $178,013. $178,013 in the carryover in Gulfstream Park's Pick 6 Jackpot. 9 races, first post time is 10:10. The Big A, Aqueduct in New York. Well, first post time there is 10:20 today. They say it is mostly cloudy, 51 degrees, and the track is labeled fast at the Big A. Of course, no carryovers there. First post time for the 8 races at Aqueduct today is set at 10:20. 10:20 at Aqueduct. Then we go to Oak Lawn Park, Hot Springs, Arkansas. They got that big Oak Lawn handicap coming up tomorrow. 10 races today at Oak Lawn Park. First post time is at 10:30 at Oak Lawn Park today. Santa Anita returns to racing today with the Hollywood Meet. Hollywood Meet starts off today at Santa Anita. First post time is 1 o'clock this afternoon. 9 races, and that new pick 3 bet. Well, pick 3, buy 3, whatever the heck they call it. Oh, they call it 3x3, I should say. Anyhow, that'll be there at the track anyway. First post time at Santa Anita on opening day, 1 o'clock this afternoon. Evangeline Downs has 9 races. Their first post time is at 3:30. And then we got Charlestown. That wraps up the racing menu for today. Charlestown has a first post time today without any carryovers, though. Charlestown, 8 races. First post time is at 4 p.m. All right, that's your racing menu for today. And, let's go to Jonathan Hardon right now. I'm sure he has a few thoughts of some of the news of the day, that's for sure. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my man. Well, first of all, Muth won't be running in the Derby, at least for now, unless they get an appeal somewhere along the line.
Well, I think the judge really was being very cautious here, because if he allowed him in, who knows what would have happened. I mean, all hell probably would have broken out. I mean, people, I don't know how they would have, I don't know. I guess he took the easy way out and said he will abide by Churchill's decision and not grant them the opportunity to run.
Well, that's so far, that's the case for Bob Baffert and all of his trainees. However, Brad Cox, he's still got a couple of trainees that are on the leaderboard and pointing towards the Kentucky Derby. But I understand that one of his horses, Encino, that was such a gutty winner in the Lexington, and in winning the Lexington, had enough points to push up into the bottom of the heap there for the top 20. I hear rumors that they decided not to go.
I hear the same rumors. He's number 19, and he was 3 for 3 on synthetic before trying dirt last time for the first time. And I would say he's probably going to be pointing for the Preakness. Those are the rumors. So let's wait until it's official.
Okay, now if he's at 19 and he vacates that position, that means T.O. Password, the Japanese horse, moves up to 19. The horse that's sitting with 21 is Grand Mo the First. That'll be pushed into the field at 20. And Common Defense, who Kenny McPeak really wants to get in the race, will be the first one, next one up, I should say, at 21. And as I said, with 15 days to go to the Kentucky Derby and already several defections, there's a good possibility that McPeak might have his horse in the Derby, because we've got 15 days to go yet.
And something's coming down the pipe, Ralph. We said it a few weeks ago, and we stick to it. I'm sure there'll be a couple of more defections before they're ready to go. Ralph, as far as that 3 for 3, is that what you're calling it, a 3 by 3?
Yeah, go ahead. Call it whatever you want. I'm not betting it.
Well, I don't know if you could bet it. That's
that's correct. They're making my opinion official, yeah.
You made a great point. It looks like they rushed to do this bet. I mean, they should have had it set up with all the platforms being able to take it, because all they're going to do is kill the bet before it even gets an opportunity to take off. My other question is, when are they going to run these 3 races? They're not going to run it the first, second, and third, because that will affect the early pick 5. They're not going to run it 4th, 5th, and 6th, because that will affect the late pick 5. My bet, I'm putting money that it'll probably be the last 3 races of the day, because that makes the most sense to me. If any of this bet makes sense to me, I don't know, but that's probably where I would place the bet.
Not to mention the fact that along the way, it is a 22% takeout, a little bit higher than most.
Why not make it 15% and get people to get interested in the bet, and and hype it really good. Even seed the first pool. What's the difference to them? They're going to get the money anyway. Promote it the right way. It's not being promoted properly.
The dollar base, I think, is probably good, because if you make it 50 cents, maybe more people get in, and more tickets will be winners, and they'll be the prices will the payoffs will be watered down. So the buck probably is a good place to start with that. But
you have to, because most of the days let's be honest, they have short fields there. They have problems filling races. You can't run this 3 by 3 by 3 with 3 6-horse fields. That bet will never work. Never. So I think you're right. At least the dollar bet, you'll get more money into the pool. But again, it's not being promoted properly, in my opinion.
And also, they haven't really designated. They haven't said it is or isn't a jackpot. So if they haven't said it was a jackpot, we're going to assume, because they haven't clarified that yet, that it's not a jackpot. So if there's not a ticket out there that has the 3 by 3 by 3, then I guess they're going to give consolations away. I guess there's some things that haven't been really clarified for the people who understand betting and want to play the bet, but want to know the parameters of the bet. And secondly, we all know and we all understand that every time they introduce a new bet, there's 2 things that happen. The computer systems at all of the ATWs and everything have to sync up to it, and some of them have problems with the programming to do that. And secondly, I got to tell you, I like when they make these coast-to-coast this, coast-to-coast that, and all the other exotic bets, extra bets that maybe tie in a track or two, etc. But trying to find the results of those bets after they happen is very difficult. They have to straighten out the fact where you can go to one site somewhere, one place, and get the payoff of the bet.
I agree with you. I finally figured out how to do it, but it took forever, honestly, between the cross country and then there's a coast to coast and about a million other things. And you have to go through everything to find it. And it's really a pain in the neck. And people don't like that. They want things to be easy.
Sure.
They don't want it to be difficult. I think that they will carry it over. I don't think it's going to be a jackpot bet, but I think they would just probably carry it over to the next day and the money stays in the pool like a pick six. That's the way I would do it.
Yeah, I would think that you're probably right, and I think that's the proper way of doing it. But they don't explain that to the people. I think especially when you're offering a new bet that people are unfamiliar with, anyhow. Well, give me the parameters. Let me know what I have to do to win the bet. I think is the big thing.
Yeah, give me the rules. All I want to know is the rules, and don't make them complicated where people aren't going to be able to figure it out. But remember, a lot of the crowd that you're attracting here are older players. They're creature of habits. Introducing new things to gamblers is not an easy thing to do. You know, people they don't want change when it comes to gambling. Not negative change, that's for sure. And if you're going to make it more complicated, you're only going to scare people away.
Yeah, there's not even a question about that. So we'll wait and see about that. That's for sure. But it's getting down to almost the nitty-gritty for the Kentucky Derby when we get together tomorrow. It'll be 2 weeks from tomorrow that we'll finally get this Derby underway. And all I can say, it looks like it's coming together. The good thing about this Derby is there's that one big monster horse out there that you're trying to beat. And certainly there hasn't developed yet an east-west kind of battle in the old days with Ali Dar and Affirmed, etc. Sunday Silence, Easy Goer, because that's just it's not working out that way this year because of the fact that Bob Baffert has most of the best 3-year-olds on the West Coast that have won those big races, and he's not, he's banned from going into the Kentucky Derby. But it's still going to be an interesting race, and I think it's going to be a good race to bet into too.
I agree with you. And Fierceness had another terrific workout yesterday for people that are on the Fierceness bandwagon. So I think he has one more work, they said, and so far so good. So it's going to be interesting. And again, I go back to it every day, but I want to see post positions. I think it's going to be extremely important in this year's Derby.
Yeah, not even a question about that. And all I can say about Fierceness is he? Do we know when he's going to make his way to Churchill Downs, or did he already make it there?
No, I think he's still in Florida because the Florida Clocker was commenting on his workout this morning or yesterday on X. So I guess he's still in Florida.
Well, let's assume that is the case. And all I got to say about that is that Fierceness is going to have to, I think, do something that he has not previously done in his past performances, and that is put 2 monster-type races together.
2 monster-type races together and no easy leads come the Derby. Like the 3 wins he had, he made easy leads. And listen, he was impressive in all 3 of them, take nothing away. The figures were all very, very good. But now he's got to do it 2 races in a row, and now he's got to do it in a 20-horse field. So not the same dynamics that he's had in the past.
Well, you know what? Our handicappers on this show have put together their top 5 list, and we're going to put that up now because you also gave us your top 5, and it really hasn't changed much. We asked you guys to update when you can, and it seems like that most of you guys are standing pat with the hand you got dealt to you as far as your horses are concerned. So if we can get that up now, we'll show the handicappers and what they have there. And most of you guys are got the logical horses on top, that's for sure. And we will wait and see, of course, the final, of course, is going to be how the horses are training up to the race, no doubt about it. And the post position draw is huge, right, Jonathan?
Absolutely. And the 5 you see that I listed, that's not the order of preference for me. Those were just the 5 that came to my head
Yeah.
when I was making the list.
Oh, yeah.
Just the touch and resilience didn't have enough points when I submitted this, but I thought that they would get it, and they did. So it's not the order that I prefer. However, it's the 5 that you asked for, and there they are.
Well, what we wanted to do was show any handicappers on the show that had a different horse rather than being universal, like most of you guys picked in the top 5, Fierceness and Sierra Leone. But, people are starting to think about how they're going to put together their exotic bets. And, most of those 2 horses will be on most of the exotic bets. But now they're looking for a little bit of meat on the bone type of horses to fill out for trifectas and superfectas, etc. So those are the top 5, not in any particular order from our handicappers, that's for sure.
And by the way, Ralph, there's a story also going around that Wayne Beckwith, the trainer of Anna Marie, I think is shopping for a rider. I mean, you have Ortiz sitting on the bench, and as good as Ben Curtis rode this horse last time, this is a Super Bowl, and if you get an opportunity to get the best quarterback or one of the best quarterbacks, you're going to use him. Take nothing away from Ben Curtis, but like you always say, you get one shot at the Derby, and if Beckwith is going to make a change, I certainly understand it.
Well, I think you're talking about Jose Ortiz, right? Because I think Irad's already kind of going to be on the horse that finally got in there, Domestic Product, right?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. All right, or in any case,
well, there'll certainly be other good Hall of Fame jockeys sitting on the sidelines.
You
and,
think?
He's going to go to the bench and find one of them. Yeah.
You think so? Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that given a chance and on a live horse, Lafitte Pincaille even might come out of retirement to ride in the Derby. You never know. In any case, we will keep an eye on that because jockey assignments are going to be something critical that happens a little bit later on. Most of the horses that have the jockeys that have been with them throughout this campaign of getting leaderboard points will stay with them. But a lot of jockeys, in looking for a Derby horse, have accepted rides on several Derby horses on the road to the Kentucky Derby, and some of those horses, some of the jockeys have had 2 horses that they've ridden already in the Derby, and that's what's creating some of these openings for these other jockeys.
Exactly.
All right, all right, let's get off the schneid and get some winners here.
Rough couple of days, Ralph.
Oh, man, that trip your horse got at... Oh, that trip you got at Aqueduct. I mean, that horse was ready to rock and roll from the rail, and he was, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can't cry over spilt milk. We got to look to turn things around.
Yeah.
We're going to look at Keelan's 10th race today. It's a mile on the turf, and I like the number 3 horse in here, Wonderful Justice. This is a 4-year-old colt from the Brad Cox barn. 2 starts this year, and he's run very well in both of them. He has 6 career starts. He's improved with each and every one of them. I like the rider switch today to Flavian Pratt, 4-1 on the morning line, full field of 11, so we'll get that price. Number 3, Wonderful Justice, wins today's 10th and final out at Keeneland.
All right, 10th and final race at Keeneland today. Number 3, Wonderful Justice. The 3 horse in the 10th race is Jonathan Hardon's pick at Keeneland, wrapping up the races there. Where else?
Let's go to Santa Anita. Look at race number 3 at 6 furlongs on the turf. And I like the number 3 horse in here, Quagmire Magic. 4-year-old gelding from the George Papadromo barn. 7 career starts for this horse, 2 of them on the turf. Either one of the grass races wins today's race. He's listed at 4-1 on the morning line. He's going to get the first run in here. He should get a great trip. I like number 3, Quagmire's Magic, 3rd race today at Santa Anita. To win today's 3rd race.
All right, easy to remember in the 3rd race, number 3. Number 3, Quagmire Magic in the 3rd race at Santa Anita, Jonathan Hardon's play. And, of course, Jonathan has full sheets at Santa Anita, Oak Lawn Park, Aqueduct, and Keeneland today. And, of course, Jonathan will be looking at that big Oak Lawn handicap tomorrow on the show, as well as some other stakes races. And
yeah, they got a bunch of stake races, and as we do every Saturday, we kind of span the globe and go over most of them.
You got it, my man. Let's get a couple of winners today to roll into the weekend. Don't forget, Jonathan has those 4 sheets at his website, right, Jonathan?
Yes, Ralph. Stay safe and be well, and we will talk tomorrow.
You got it, my man. You got it. Okay, we're going to take our break. When we come back, Rich Eng is standing by, and we'll wait and see what he has to offer for us today. Don't go away.
Who is there for heroes or the families left behind when a service member or first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty? Who helps our country's homeless veterans? And who helps our nation to never forget 9/11? Let me tell you who. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The Foundation's Gold Star, Fallen First Responder, Smart Home, and Homeless Veteran programs comprise their In the Line of Duty programs. They're all dedicated to honoring our nation's heroes and their families. The Foundation's Never Forget programs engage people in 9/11 remembrance across America. Over 80 runs, walks, and climbs a year, dozens of golf outings, and the Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute is educating kids in kindergarten through 12th grade to help our nation keep its vow to never forget. More than 95 cents of every dollar you donate to Tunnel to Towers goes to its programs. Never forget the sacrifices of our country's greatest heroes. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sports book and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
The best of racing is always at Los Alamitos Racecourse. This weekend, the top California juveniles will be in action. It's the trials to the Grade 2 Robert Adair Kindergarten Futurity this Sunday night. Great racing action is in store with the juveniles, with the 10 fastest times advancing to the kindergarten final on May 12th. Plus, night racing's best bets, like our early and late pick fours and our $10,000 pick six promo. We'll add $10,000 to the pick six pool on Sunday if there's not a carryover. Last Sunday's pick six paid over $34,000. And horse players, Los Alamitos is the perfect place to enjoy all of the national simulcast racing action. From Santa Anita and Oaklawn to Gulfstream Park and the top New York tracks. And remember to reserve a table in the beautiful Vessels Club for Kentucky Derby Day. For reservations, call 714-820-2681. We're all about the horse players, the kindergarten trials this Sunday night. The best of racing is always at Los Alamitos Racecourse.
Okay, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Friday as we ramp up for the weekend. And we're going to go now to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. And to start the segment, I'll give 2 cents of advice to that trainer Beckwith looking for a jockey. I'd hire either a Calvin Burrell or Sonny Leone, because if they can get Mind That Bird home and Rich Strike home, they can get anybody home.
Yeah, and they both found, of course, Burrell was famous for his nickname was Borrail because he always liked to take the shortest route to the winner's circle, and that, of course, down on the inside. So we'll wait and see about that. That's for sure. Your top list in the Kentucky Derby prospects really hasn't changed that much, has it, Richie?
No, there really was no reason to change. The defections didn't affect my top 5 at all. And, I think the only thing that will really change it will be, one, if the horses are not training well at Churchill Downs, but we won't know that until we see the next couple of weeks. And 2 would be the draw for the post position.
Yeah.
The draw every year is always important, Ralph. There's 20 stalls, and I know they have a new starting gate, which gives the inside couple of posts a little better chance, but it's still tough to be stuck down on the inside if you draw 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and of course you have Sierra Leone and Fastness as well, and Stronghold seems to be maybe, and Catching Freedom might be the long horses that you're looking at to complete the exotics.
Yeah, and Forever Young is my third choice. I've said before on other shows, that's my last Kentucky Derby future book bet that's alive. But, his odds, when I've seen some of the prospective odds, it looks like some of the odds makers are making him like the third choice, which would be kind of undervalued, because I really think he deserves to. If he's 10-1, that's actually not much value as far as betting in my mind.
Yeah, but you could put it in when you get to the exotics, when you get into third and fourth place finishers, with trifectas and superfectas, leaving them out might be a way of losing a ticket. That's for sure. In any case, you've got 2 sheets today available at Keeneland and at Santa Anita because Santa Anita has started today. So let's get some picks.
Yeah, let's go to Keeneland first. And I've got a couple of horses that I found, Ralph, that I think can have what I call positive pace scenarios, and the fact that there should be a contested pace, possibly fast early fractions, and they might be able to close into it. Let's go with Keeneland Race 2. The horse I like is number 6, Golden Town. James Graham riding for Grant Foster. If you take a look at the PPs on this horse tried turf for the first time last race at Fairgrounds and closed like a bullet into really slow fractions. They went the half in 47-1, going 5.5 furlongs, and this horse picked up a ton of ground late. So if he gets the right pace scenario, I think the 6 Golden Town could be real dangerous in race 2.
Second race, number 6 Golden Town, 8-1 on the morning line in a big full field, going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. James Graham aboard. I love James Graham in that part of the country as a long shot rider. I can tell you that, Richie. He's always positive in that area, that's for sure. So in the second race, you like the 6 Golden Town in the second at Keeneland, and of course, you'd also have a Santa Anita sheet.
Yeah, and James Graham, his agent Ralph is a good friend of yours and mine's. That's Doug Bradar, who's the husband of Peyton Bradar. So always got to root for him and them. As far as the second choice, let's go to race 6 at Santa Anita. Similar scenario. Looks like there's a positive pace scenario of multiple horses trying for the lead. That could set up a nice late charge by the 2, Zimba Warrior. Steve Knapp and Antonio Fresu. I think he'll just sit a trip in the back of the bus and at the top of the stretch look for a seam to fire his best shot. So let's go with the 2, Zimba Warrior in race 6.
All right, 6th race at Santa Anita on the opening day of the Hollywood meet, I should say. In the 6th race, the 2, Zimba Warrior. Number 2, Zimba Warrior in the 6th at Santa Anita. Complete sheets for both Keeneland and Santa Anita right now. Richie Ing's selections at the RacedayLasVegas.com websites. Hey, thanks a lot, Rich, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, you got it, my man. Before we wrap up the show with John Lindo and go to our final break, I'm going to give you Jerry Jackowitz picks right now. Jerry Jackowitz, of course, has a selection both at Santa Anita and at Aqueduct, and since you probably have your Santa Anita sheet in front of you with Richie's last selection there, we'll stay at Santa Anita. At Santa Anita, Jerry Jackowitz likes in the 7th race, the 1 horse, Kid Azteca. The 1 Kid Azteca is his pick for the race day listeners. And looking at his sheet to give you some link-ups, the next 3 horses on his sheet are the 3, the 6, and the 7. So we'll make the 1 over 3, 6, 7, and reverse in the Santa Anita 7th race. And at Aqueduct, Jerry J comes in the first race of the day, post time at 10:20 Pacific time. In the first race, Jerry's pick is the 4 Luminique, the 4-horse Luminique in the first race. His next 3 horses on the sheet are the 1, the 3, and the 6. So we'll go with the 4 over 1, 3, 6, and reverse that in the first race at Aqueduct. Don't forget that although Jerry's not on the show with us, his power pages continue, full power pages for Santa Anita and Aqueduct at his website, jerryjspowerpage.com. We'll take our final break. When we come back, we're wrapping it up with John Lindo. Don't go away.
From the South Point studio, the perfect blend of sports.
But I think the Niners are going to wear them down. Detroit Pistons lost their 36 games.
Comedy.
See over-under on that relationship lasting. I'm going to put mayo in the coffee.
Yeah. I am beautiful. And a whole lot of Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Join Ryan McCormick.
That's at least 2 picks outside of our own in the first round next year. Rio.
And host Frank Nicotero.
I look at the clock, I go,
Watch Punchlines live at noon every weekday.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Time to go out to John Lindo standing by in Southern California. And John, finally, we get racing in Southern California again. Good morning.
Feels like it's been a while, but I tell you what, good weather today. We ought to be fast and firm and back on grass, which is nice. So let's have a good meet.
All right, I'll ask you, do you have any idea where these buy three, pick three triple bet's going to be?
Nowhere today. It's going to the release I saw yesterday said it'll be implemented in the next few weeks, but it is not set to go. Obviously, we have so many questions still.
Yeah.
So when it is available, I'll let you know. But right now, that is not starting with opening day.
And of course, they need the other simulcast platforms with betting in it. The other ATMs to get involved with it.
Exactly. I don't know where all the software is as far as all the ADW companies, whether a place like Las Vegas could take the wager in the race book. So as these questions are answered, we'll let everybody know.
Yeah, I said ATM, which is kind of subliminal, I guess, to where we have to go with some of the selections this week. But we'll pump it up, that's for sure. Christian Torres is back after 14 days. He's had some mounts at Keeneland. He got a 14-day suspension out at Oaklawn. And the pick six, and of course, even the turf pick three at Keeneland is a carryover today. But at Santa Anita to wrap up their winter meet, I guess Juan Hernandez, easy win in the jock standings there.
Right. Juan Hernandez was the leading rider. What did he have? A total of
53.
53 wins. Antonio Frieza was second with 46. And Flavian Pride is now at Keeneland. He's got 42. Doug O'Neill sneaked out the win in the trainer standings. He had 30. Mark Glatt right behind with 29 and Phil D'Amato with 28. With the exception of Flavian Pride, I expect all those guys to be right on the top of the leaderboard for the Hollywood meet.
And, of course, the favorite stood at 43%. Yuck.
Yeah, it got up high and it stayed high the whole meet long, Ralph.
The Lindo report, flat bet profit. You got a flat bet profit, 410 top picks, 142 winners out of those, 34.6%. Way to go. And John Lindo's Lindo report for both Keeneland and Santa Anita full are right here at the South Point, free of charge, exclusively at the South Point in the race book here because they love horse players. Let's get some winners, John.
Let's go to Keeneland first. I'll go down to the 10th and final and take on John Hardon. I like Loyal Company, number 6 on the program. Horse got shuffled back to last time turning for home on the grass at Gulfstream Park. Finished very well, galloped out in front that day. A little longer distance to the 1 mile is going to help. I think this turf course will help his style more too. 10-1 on the program, an improving horse. Number 6, Loyal Company, race number 10 at Keeneland.
All right, 10th race at Keeneland. You like the 6 Loyal Company, and between John and Jonathan, we've got a Siraco play box. We're going to box the 3-6-6-3 in the 10th race at Keeneland. John Lindo's pick is the 6 Loyal Company. And now we'll go opening day Hollywood meet at Santa Anita.
Let's go to the 4th race at Santa Anita. This is a good group of California-bred maidens. I like the first-time starter, number 8, Moonlight Tryst, a daughter of American Pharaoh, who's a Calbred. You don't see that very often. Good gate speed in the morning works. I love the outside post. I think this horse will be right on top of the leaders on the outside in the clear, and that's a good place to be. 3-1 on the program. Number 8, Moonlight Tryst, race number 4, Santa Anita.
All right, 4th race at Santa Anita. You like the 8, Moonlight Tryst. John Lindo's pick for the race day listeners, the 8, Moonlight Tryst in the 4th race at Santa Anita. And again, full Lindo reports for Santa Anita and Keeneland with a suggested late pick 4 and all that goody information available right now. Both sheets available here at the South Point Racebook, free of charge, exclusively. This is the only place you can get it, and it's free to you because they love horse players and certainly love John Lindo's product as well here at the South Point. John, I know that you will probably get reaction from the Muth ruling a little bit later on, but for now, I guess Bob Baffert won't have a horse in the Derby.
No, and I don't think the ruling was a surprise at all. I kind of thought that's how it would go, and we'll see if they appeal or what happens next.
All right. We wrap up this Friday show reminding you, God willing and the creek don't rise. We'll be back tomorrow morning doing the same thing for you on the Saturday show. But Jerry's not here, but I got John, and he's going to say it for you.
Have a great race day, everybody.